What is up, YouTube? It's me, Brooke Zimmerman here, and today we're doing another Thomas What If. In this episode of my Thomas Friends What If series, we're covering what if Duke, Mighty Mac, and Freddie were in Blue Mountain Mystery. So to start off, for the voice actors to voice Duke, Mighty Mac, and Freddie, Duke would be voiced by Bob Golding if he joined the show's voice cast back in 2012. During the production of Blue Mountain Mystery in the 16th series. Freddie would also be voiced by Bob Golding as well. As originally, Freddie was going to return to CGI and be voiced by Bob Golding, but however, that ultimately didn't happen. Wish it did, though. And Mighty Mac would be voiced by both Carrie Shale and Rob Rackstraw, respectively. Now, for what they would do in the movie, I would also have Duncan appear in the movie as well, since he was originally going to be featured in the movie. That way, by the time we get a Blue Mountain Mystery, we have all 7 of the original Skarloey Railway engines in full CGI, as well as having Mighty Mac and Freddie in CGI too. Now, for what they would do in the movie, Duke, Mighty Mac, and Freddie, as well as Duncan, would all appear alongside the other narrow gauge engines working at the Blue Mountain Quarry, and I would maybe add in a scene where when Duke hears about Luke for the first time, Duke compares Luke to Smudger, as both were both narrow gauge and both wore the color green, and both engines were kept a mystery from each other and both engines were ambiguous to the others for quite a while. And I would also give Mighty Mac and Freddie some scenes too. And after the now for what I would do with now for what I would do with them in the 16th series, if I were in charge of the show during the time of the Nitrogen era, rather than Sharon Miller, rather than only giving the narrow gauge engines 2 episodes in season 16, I would have done what season 4 did by having the first half of the season be focused on narrow gauge stories and having the second half of the season be focused on standard gauge stories. That way we have a perfect even amount of standard and narrow gauge stories. We have 10 narrow gauge stories and 10 standard gauge stories. That way it's an equal amount. That way the narrow gauge engines returns in the series feel more deserving. And I would give Duke an episode in season 16, as I would give Duke an episode of Luke. And I would also give Mighty Mac an episode 2, and I would give Freddie an episode as well to flesh out all their characters. Now for season 17, for King of the Railway, I would have them make minor appearances in the movie, and I would also bring back Duke's dynamic with Sir Handel and Peter Sam, and I would also make more episodes about the narrow gauge engines in the CGI series, so that the narrow gauge engines don't feel underutilized and wasted in the CGI series. And by the time we get to season 20, when the Arsdale engines are introduced, we would get an episode where Duke is where Duck decides to show Duke the Arsdale Railway, since the Arsdale Miniature Railway used to be the Minnesota Railway. And I would also give Freddie an episode of Millie by the time we get to season 17. And I would also give Mighty Mac an episode of Donald and Douglas by the time Donald and Douglas return in CGI in the 20th season. And I'd also give the Narrow Gauge Engines episodes in season 19 rather than just completely neglecting them. I still don't understand why they didn't give the Narrow Gauge Engines any episodes, stories, or appearances in season 19, which is one of the reasons why I dislike season 19. And so yeah, that's for what if Duke, Mighty Mac, and Freddie were in the CGI series. If you like this video, if you like this video, then go check out all my other content. Go subscribe to my channel. Anyways, bye.